The women dismantled Marquette last night, improving to 3-0 in the Big East. We'll recap. This is Locked On UConn.
You are Locked On UConn, your daily podcast on the UConn Huskies, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Thursday, and welcome back to another episode of Locked On UConn. I am Matt Schonvisky, a two-time graduate, 10-year credentialed media member, and host of the only daily UConn sports podcast, Locked On UConn, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network in the world. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for making this your first listen each and every single day. On today's show, we'll, of course, recap the 89-53 win last night for the women over Marquette. They're now 11-0 on the season. Then we'll turn our attention to the gridiron as the Huskies are just 9 days away from returning to action in the Fenway Bowl in Boston. And finally, with both the men and women playing so well, are dual championships a real possibility this season? But first, we will begin with last night's 89-53 win by the women over Marquette. Another dominating performance. 36-point win. Sarah Strong, again, leading the way. 22 points, 7 rebounds. She did have 6 turnovers, but so efficient from the field. 9 of 12 shooting to get those 22 points. AZ Fudd, 14 points. Blanca, 12 points. Both shot 5 of 10 from the field. Both shot 2 of 4 from 3. Listen, 59% shooting, 50% from 3, and then once again, holding opponents under 40% from the field. That defense, once again, carrying the team. Now, Geno postgame, I don't know if he really liked the defense, despite only giving up 53 points, despite holding Marquette to 21 first-half points, despite holding Marquette to 29 points only through 3 quarters. I still don't think he was satisfied. He talked about how this team can play defense in impact games and how they grade how a team performs, not by how they shot, but by the shots, the type of shots that they got. So just because Marquette only shot 5 of 16 from 3, there were a lot of open looks last night. And Geno, Geno, his experience, he's going to point to those type of things that, hey, yeah, scoreboard-wise, stat-wise, Marquette didn't shoot well. Was it entirely because of UConn? Or was it they just missed open looks? So, in a 36-point win, Geno, of course, as he should be, being critical and finding certain areas of improvement as this team moves forward. Just like Dan Hurley on the men's side. They're cruising right now. But the women are absolutely cruising through the early Big East slate, 3-0 in conference play. Blanca. My goodness, she had some plays last night that certainly caught my eye. She looked like Kevin Durant attacking the rim on a few plays from outside on the perimeter, breaking down, little spin move, got right to the hoop, put it in with the left. I think we're looking at the next UConn superstar in the making. And she's coming off the bench. That's how deep this team is. She played only 22 minutes. Like I said, 12 points on 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Her shot is so pure, so smooth. She can handle, she can drive, she can do it all. She's such an impactful player for this team that, yes, Sarah Strong led the way. I was most intrigued last night about Blanca and her performance and what it's been throughout the season and what it's going to be going forward, because she's only going to get better and better and better as the season moves on. And she's just a freshman. She's averaging double digits on the year on 55% from the field. Such a weapon for this team. And like I said, a superstar in the making. Defensively, we talked about. Offensively, 59%, 50% from three, efficient. The Huskies don't have to worry about scoring the ball. Just like we talked about with the men yesterday. They can shoot from the outside. They can pound the rock down low. Huskies only shot 14 attempts from three. That's another thing Geno called out last night. He wants to see more three-point attempts. He was actually disappointed, was shaking his head. And, that's all we got. So I think he's got a plan in his head of how he wants games to play out. And yeah, despite a 36-point victory, I think there's a lot of areas that Geno may not have been fully satisfied with how that team played last night. And looking forward, he's happy with where the team is currently. But they're not where he wants them to be yet. And as this group continues throughout this season, we'll see how that progresses. So the women took care of big business on Wednesday night ahead of a key out-of-conference matchup this weekend. Hosting Iowa on Saturday, 1:30. Nationally televised on Fox. An opportunity to once again challenge themselves out of conference because you're not going to get too many challenges in conference play this year. We talked about how we've got Iowa, Notre Dame, and Tennessee as the only remaining out of conference. All tough opponents. And it's a measuring stick game just to really see exactly where they stand in the grand scheme of things here in college basketball. The closest game this year, Michigan, of course, that 3-point win. And then Louisville, to open the season, was a 13-point margin. But other than that, they've been absolutely taking care of business. I'd expect a close game this weekend, just given the experiences Iowa's had, the battles these two teams have had, the ability to shoot on the perimeter that they can bring to the table, the Hawkeyes. So I'm expecting an up-and-down game. I'm expecting an offensive battle, and we'll see just how good this UConn defense is as we move forward. So that's the women. On the other side, we are going to turn our attention to the gridiron after this break. Ever feel like your money just disappears each month? It happens fast. A few subscriptions here, an impulse buy there, and suddenly the numbers in your bank account don't match the numbers in your head. Rocket Money helps you get clarity, track every dollar, and stay in control of your finances. Because managing your money shouldn't feel like a second job. Rocket Money does the heavy lifting for you so you can save more and stress less. Choose the ones that fit your experience and voice. Rocket Money finds subscriptions you forgot you were paying for and helps you clean them up quickly. Seeing all your spending on one dashboard makes it easier to understand where your money is going. I like how Rocket Money automatically builds budgets based on past spending, keeps you on track without overthinking it. The bill alerts and spending notifications help you catch small things before they turn into big expenses. Having the app find good times to save each month keeps you consistent with your financial goals. Take control of your finances and cancel your unwanted subscriptions with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. on. rocketmoney.com/locked on. Back in here on this Thursday edition of Locked On UConn, and let's turn our attention to the gridiron because we are under 10 days away from the Huskies looking for win number 10, the first time in the history of UConn football at the FBS level that they could accomplish that feat. Army comes in off that 1-point loss to Navy this past weekend. UConn's been sitting home. UConn's been going through a coaching change. UConn's been going through some roster turnover. UConn's been going through some transfer portal announcements. Offensive coordinator and interim head coach, Gordon Samus, now going to be offensive coordinator down at TCU. Defense coordinator Matt Brock heading to Mississippi State. Jim Mora, Colorado State. Bryce Tracy, Colorado State. We hear Kashif Moore, Colorado State. So, yes, this group is preparing for a feat that has never been accomplished before here in Stores. But at the same time, you've got staff and players looking elsewhere, trying to set themselves up for success. So my biggest concern as UConn goes for a school record wins at the FBS level, a very important goal that will live in the record books here in Stores. Are they focused on the task at hand to go out and get a win against a team that, listen, is a tough challenge? Army brings to the table an option offense that is very hard to defend. They are a very difficult matchup, especially for a defense that isn't best suited to play the option. So are the Huskies installing a new defense like they did against Air Force? Are they focused enough to be able to keep their eye on the prize? And then what are the goals that each of the players that are going to be actually playing in the game prioritizing? We know there could be potentially some opt-outs. No official word yet. But the way college football is set up and the calendar is set up, it's not ideal for this type of situation, especially when coaching turnover happens. Especially when your top-end players are prepping for the draft. Especially when your assistant coaches are prepping themselves for their other positions and focusing on moving their families. It's a disservice to the game. It's a disservice to the schools that they're coming from. And it's a disservice to the players. Not the responsibility or the fault of the coaches or players that are going through this. It's the fault and the responsibility of those making the decisions associated with the college football calendar. And that's something that needs to be fixed. This was not just a Lane Kiffin issue this year. It wasn't just an issue for any coaching staff that made a change, including UConn. College football needs to be fixed. The calendar needs to be adjusted. This should not be in the middle of a season as a comparison to basketball. Rick Pitino talked about this a couple weeks back. The situation in college football and the way the calendar is set up, this would be like a coach going to find another job in between the end of the regular season and 3 days later, the Big East tournament's happening. Yet, the coaches are gone, and so are a lot of the players because the coach is gone. It makes absolutely zero sense why the calendar is what it is. It's got to be fixed. The powers that be are not going to fix it because they don't know what the heck they are doing. But those of us that pay attention and follow the game very closely know what needs to happen. Know what needs to be adjusted. And knows what will make it better for the schools, the players, and the coaches. So UConn's in a difficult position here. Lost their head coach, lost their coordinators, losing their coaching staff while bringing in a new staff. Your top-end talent is figuring out what to do. You have a rest of the roster that you have who could treat this as a tryout for a new head coach, Jason Candle, or could be trying to use it to figure themselves out for the future, whether that's at UConn or elsewhere. Whether that's save yourselves to because they already know where they're going, if they're following Coach Mora, if they're going to the NFL, or if they already know what school they're going to transfer to or plan to transfer to or would like to transfer to. So listen, yes, UConn is going for 10 wins, a big feat. I have no idea what they're going to look like because of the drastic change that has taken place. But the big goal is still there regardless. First ever team at the FBS level at UConn to get to double-digit wins. That is still on the table. And something this team better be focused on. I know the fan base is focused on it. Hopefully the rest of this group is focused just as much on that goal as well. So UConn and Army taking place up at Fenway Park next Saturday. Listen, we're going to start talking all next week. We're going to be previewing the Army UConn bowl game up at Fenway each and every single day. We'll have a guest on. We're still finalizing who those guests will be, but we're working with the university to figure that out. But we will be bringing you full coverage ahead of next Saturday's bowl game. As for today, on the other side, are dual championships on the table. We'll be back. The holidays always show up faster than we expect, and if you're still pulling together gifts, last-minute decor, or getting your home ready for guests, Wayfair has you covered. Whether you need a quick room refresh, new bedding, or those final seasonal touches, Wayfair makes it easy to get what you need fast. Wayfair truly is your one-stop shop for everything home, with decor, furniture, kitchen essentials, and gifts for every style and every budget, all delivered quickly and easily. The selection is huge. Bedding, decor, kitchen gear, kids' room updates. I was able to find everything in one place. It's so easy it is to shop by style. It helps you pick pieces that actually fit your home instead of guessing. The Wayfair items you order will instantly refresh your space without a big project. Wayfair is perfect for gifting too. They have guides, tons of options, and something for everyone on the budget. No massive delivery fees, no stress. It's the best way to get your home holiday ready without running around or to different stores. Get last-minute hosting essentials, gifts for all your loved ones, and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. Every style, every home. Back in on Locked On UConn on this Thursday edition. In for the final segment, and we're going back to the hardwood. Because both teams are playing unbelievable basketball. To the point where, listen, 2004, 2014, are we looking at another possible dual championship run? Yesterday, we talked about how the men could be NCAA tournament favorites. And in my mind, they are, due to their depth, due to their versatility, due to the amount of scorers they have on the team, and due to their defense. The women are built the same exact way. A defensive-oriented team that is absolutely deep. They're deeper than the men. And they can score the rock in so many different ways. Just like the men. So this could be a third opportunity to win both titles. And oh, what a time for that to happen. Just as the grand scheme of things in college athletics is seemingly ever changing, what better way to put UConn on the front minds of every decision maker than to come away with 2 national championships in April? So both the men and the women have that capability. What it's going to come down to are a couple things: health, continuous improvement, and defense. Those 3. Throw a fourth: rebounding. Health, continuous improvement, defense, rebounding. If both of those teams take care of those 4 things and are able to stay healthy, I think both are favorites. And a chance to add another dual title to the basketball capital of the world, Storrs, Connecticut. So the next couple of months here, as we start to get into 2026 and turn the page, I think the women are looking at back-to-back. I think the men are looking at 3 and 4. I think for the third time, we're talking about dual titles. And I think we're having one heck of a parade in downtown Hartford in mid-April. So with that, we're going to wrap today's show up. Obviously, some big games coming up. We've got Iowa on the women's side this Saturday. Huskies continue Big East play. Fenway Bowl next Saturday. It is Christmas week. Happy holidays to everybody. We'll still be here. Still talking UConn. Bringing you coverage each and every single day, just like usual. Because the games don't stop and the coverage doesn't stop here on Locked On UConn. So with that, thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Locked On UConn. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And for a second listen, check out Locked On Sports Today, hosted by Peter Prokowski, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And as always, go Huskies!